There's Veronica. Hi, guys. Welcome to this new series that we are doing on the meaning of Catholic. My name is Angela Erickson,
And I'm Haley.
and this is the Ascent. So, next week I'll probably have a better intro. I just didn't have time to make one. But we're here. We're alive. Thanks for joining us this evening. I want to make sure I can see some of you guys. Let's see. We have Lauren here. Good old Mac of the Ages. And I'm impressed because I heard that Mac likes to go to sleep early, I believe. And thank you so much. We're super excited about this collaboration as well. Some of you might know me from Integrated with Angela Erickson. That's how I got connected with this awesome crew over here. Haley, why don't you tell us a little bit about you? Because you are kind of like the mega moderator for everybody. And so everyone sees your name everywhere, but maybe they aren't as familiar with you.
Okay, so I'm Haley. Most people know me as Halleylujah. I moderate a few different channels. I'm not a big name dropper, so I'm not going to mention which ones. But I like to help people out in different ways. So one of the other things I do, I help Jeremiah with a few things. One of my big things I like to do is pray. So you actually, if you're looking for me, you can usually find me. I'm on Instagram a lot more, and I pray over there. I do a lot with prayer. I pray with different people. I'm on Telegram, and I help run Jeremiah's prayer chain over there. So that's kind of my thing.
Yeah, you are so active on Telegram. I don't know how you do it. All of you guys. I'm like, this is quite the it's huge. Like, I struggle with group messages, even much smaller group messages. So I don't know how you do it. It's amazing for me to like watch.
I can speed read. So that's like, people are always like, how do you, like, I can speed read through a whole bunch of stuff. So that's kind of how I.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so how was your All Saints Mass? Did you make it okay?
I didn't.
Oh, that's funny. We almost didn't make it either because I had lots of screaming
Well,
children.
my youngest,
That's
who is
right.
sleeping right now, cross my fingers that it stays that way. He has had a fever the last few days, and we've had a virus running through our house, so I didn't make it today.
That's right. I'm so sorry. I hope he's
That's
feeling
okay.
better soon.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. That's just always so tough.
I was kind of bummed I didn't get to go. I was wanting to go, but that's such is life.
Yep. Especially mom life, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Prepping for Heaven says that they also struggle with keeping up with the chat. So I feel you there.
Yeah.
And Mac of the Ages knows you very well, I'm sure. I bet he sees a lot of the chats that you're in.
Yeah.
And you are everyone's mod. That's so
Yeah.
awesome. So let's talk about what the Ascent is. So we kind of decided, Haley had kind of the idea of what we should start off with this series. And we're calling it the Ascent for a couple of reasons. I want to explain that first before we dive into exactly what we're doing. The Ascent is going to be a series done that really focuses on assenting to the church's teachings, because we're going to be talking about controversial issues. And so I wanted to highlight that this is the Ascent. We assent to the church's teachings regardless of our leanings, our preferences, things like that. And also the Ascent, it's like not a perfect double entendre, but the goal is to ascend to heaven, like
Yeah.
to have that eternal perspective. So that's kind of why we chose the name The Ascent. We could say we assent, but then we kind of lose a little bit of that double meaning. That was the only thing I wanted to explain about that. Do you have anything to add?
I hold on. Well, first off, it wasn't really, well, it was my idea, kind of. It kind of hit me when I was listening to Mark from Treadman.
That's
So
right. Shout out to Mark.
yeah, Treadman podcast. Everybody go
Oh,
listen.
there's Jason. Hey.
So I was listening to him, and he was talking about, and I had the name of the one he did recently, about Vatican II.
Yeah.
So I was listening to that one, and he had a lot of good points, and he was like, nobody was listening to me. Nobody was wanting to hear what problems I had and my concerns. And I, like, several times, like, he said this more than once, and I was like, I'm listening to you. I do. Like, I don't agree with you on everything, but we could talk about it. And I was like, I want to talk about this. I want to find somebody who's willing to talk about this. And I kind of just mentioned it to Angela, and Angela was like, yes.
Yes. Well, that's something, I like to touch on some of those things on my own channel a little bit. I mean, I've hit some of the more controversial issues like divorce and things like that,
Yeah.
domestic violence. But I think what needs to happen, and this is why I loved the idea, is I think we just need to have more conversations that aren't so highly intellectual.
Yes.
I think there's kind of we have a lot of that, and there are people that are so much smarter than I am talking about these issues, but often sometimes I feel like it goes even over my head, and I would say I have a pretty average intellect, but these things interest me, and I think you too. I mean, we both have talked
Yes.
extensively about that, but I just feel like we need more of just normal people talking about these things and disagreeing with each other in a way that is charitable, and maybe even persuading people or helping change people's minds, but less of I don't know, the crazy Twitter banter that goes on that's hardly conducive for conversion. Like, the whole goal is for us to go to heaven. And I think if we have that eternal perspective, that really changes the way that we approach making our case. Like, for me, I went to school for rhetoric and argumentation. That's part of my minor, along with mass communications. And so the way you make your case is really important to me. I love apologetics, and so do you. And so that's why I think this will be a pretty good fit, because we have yeah, Anthony, Twitter. So yeah, especially after the day that you've had, right, Anthony? And so anyway, I wanted to really dive into that. I'm excited to do that, and to offer a female perspective with that. I think that's something that's really unique about this series on the meaning of Catholic.
I agree. And I, like, adding to that, a lot of times I hear the big complaint is, if it's so easy, then, like, why is it only, like, why are only the big brains having these discussions? Like, like, why can't things be more clear? And I think having, like, both of us are stay-at-home moms. So
Right.
if we can have these discussions, then we can, like, have them charitably. I think, that's kind of what I'm hoping to get from this. For me, I want a fruitful conversation, and to show, hey, we can have these discussions, and we can, at the end of the day, disagree. We don't have to agree on things. And
That's right.
one of the beautiful things about being Catholic is we don't have to agree on everything. Like, every little thing, we don't have to, like, assent to each other, as long as we're assenting to the church.
Right.
And that dialogue is something that is beneficial in our church.
Yeah, I agree. And thanks, Anthony. I'm really excited about this opportunity. It's just such an honor to be a part of this channel, to contribute in this way, because I mean, we have a lot of male voices on this channel, and we're even going to talk about whether or not women should be engaging in a public way on these issues, weighing in, because I think, even Pope Francis just recently said something like, if women were in charge more, there would be less more in the world. And I kind of laughed. I was like, you must not know any vindictive women. So I kind of, with that, I wanted to be like, it might get tense at times, but I think you and I both agree, and we've talked about it privately, like, we're not here to be like a Catholic version of The View. We're not here to be catty. We're not. Our goal is to talk about ideas, address ideas, and still walk away friends. Like, those are the people that I admire the most personally. I think like my grandpa was really good friends with a Lutheran pastor growing up.
Mhm.
And they would get into very vigorous debates about economics and religion and everything under the sun, but they were very good friends. And we just don't have that anymore because we live in an echo chamber and we are able to craft our social media in a way that really reinforces our own views. And so we
Mhm.
don't ever really have to interact with them. And then when we are confronted with them, we're like astonished that somebody else believes differently than we do on any given
And
issue.
then
Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of times people, I was telling you this earlier, a lot of times people are offended
Yeah.
that you would disagree and that
Yes.
you have a different opinion. Um, I
Mhm.
was telling you about the Peter Crift, how he was saying, people, if you challenge their ideas, it's like you're challenging them as a person. And I think we're both mature enough in our faith and uh, mature enough as adults,
Yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah.
to have these conversations. Um,
Yeah. I definitely agree, and I think too, I mean, it would be interesting too to see if either our positions change on things. Like, there are some things that you and I agree on, so
yeah,
that's gonna be a little bit different, but there are definitely issues that we do disagree on, and I think we're both pretty evenly, um I think it's an even matchup in a sense, you know what I mean? Like, I think we have enough working knowledge that um this is gonna be a really interesting show, and I'm excited to share it with people, to offer, our lowly perspective as just stay-at-home moms, but, like, we just need to be able to have this conversation on this level instead of always the talking heads, which some of them are amazing, I'm not saying otherwise. But, I think just real stuff that people can relate to.
yes,
Yeah.
and conversations that we can have that any Johnny Q, Sally Sue off the street can have. Like,
Yeah, yeah, we want this to be super accessible, and so, and two, one thing that I love about this show is it's gonna be live, so if you have something you want to contribute to the conversation or something you want us to talk about, we're
yeah,
gonna be able to do that, which makes it super, I don't know, like, I love that because most of my stuff on my podcast is pre-recorded, but that might change in the future, but anyway, this is what we're starting off with, the Ascent, and we're really excited for you guys to join us. Do
yeah.
you perhaps have anything left, like, to add? Otherwise, I don't want to. I know it's late and everyone's tired after mass and wrestling kids all day and working all day. And I know some of our friends like to get their beauty sleep, like Mac of the ages. So, do you have any final thoughts?
No, I'm really looking forward to this. I hope, I'm praying that this can be a beneficial, not just for us. Like, I feel like we're going to grow from this, but that's the whole point of this channel. The meaning of Catholic is parsing out what it means to be a Catholic.
Yeah,
And
that's
this
right.
is part of that, like finding
Iron
out,
sharpens iron, right? Like
yeah, where
that's yeah.
we're unified under the name Catholic, but what does that mean? Like,
Hmm.
for like being different, in different, like, just going to different worship, like, liturgies, going to,
Right.
yeah, all of that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
universality of Catholicism. Yeah, so our goal really is just to use this show to bring us closer to our natural end while seeking understanding of the differences that we have on Catholic issues. Because when it really all comes down to it, our faith is about one thing, like I said, coming to know, love, and serve God in this life and the next. So until next time, God bless you.
Yeah. Peace.